What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. 2024 was a pretty successful year at the box office, and with that, today we're going to rank the top 10 highest grossing movies of 2024. A couple billion-dollar movies, a couple $500 million movies, and a couple in between that range. We're going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. Just kind of caught up on a couple of these movies that I have missed. We're going to talk about them all. Let me know your ranking of the 10 highest grossing movies of 2024 down below in the comment section. And before we get into this, the top 10 highest grossing movies of last year are Dune Part 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, Moana 2, Godzilla x Kong, Mufasa the Lion King, Wicked, Inside Out 2, Kung Fu Panda 4, Venom 3, and Despicable Me 4. Those are the 10 movies we're going to be ranking. Again, let me know yours down below. Let's hop into this right at number 10. And in last place is Despicable Me 4. I totally forgot this movie came out, but it actually grossed $969 million. So they will continuously make these Despicable Me movies because people go out and see them, and families and kids just love them, and they love the minions so much. But for the life of me, I cannot tell you what happened throughout this movie. One of the most forgettable movies, and for a franchise that I actually really enjoy. I love the first two Despicable Me movies. Despicable Me 3 is fine. Despicable Me 4, couldn't tell you too much what happened to it. I think this one has like kids and the families in it and everything like that. But other than that, I mean, just a forgettable movie that raked it in at the box office. At number 9 is Kung Fu Panda 4. You lost the magic with this one. I love the first two Kung Fu Panda movies a lot. The third one I thought was fine. You get introduced to Poe's family, which was interesting. It's funny. It's cute. It seems a little bit more childish rather than the first two. This fourth one, they bring back all the villains, and it just felt desperate, and it felt kind of just pointless. I mean, you bring back Tai Lung. For what? For what? Why do you bring him back? He's one of the greatest villains of all time. I found myself kind of frustrated with this one. It's still fun. The characters are back. Jack Black as Poe is always going to be a fun time, but seemed kind of like a cash grab, and I mean, it did $548 million at the box office, so it definitely was a cash grab because it made pretty damn good money. At number 8, Venom 3, the lowest grossing Venom movie, and it grossed $476 million. This one isn't as bad as people thought, and it's one of the better comic movies of 2024, which isn't saying a lot, but this one at least has that bromantic comedy vibes between Eddie and Venom. That's the kind of best part about these movies. There's so many plot lines throughout this movie that you're kind of scratching your head about how dumb it's getting. But the end, with all of the symbiotes coming together in that third act, I mean, it was fun, man. It was fun, and it made me enjoy it enough. And goodbye to the Sonyverse. I'm not going to miss it, but Venom 3 wasn't atrocious, as I guess a lot of people were saying. At number 7, Godzilla x Kong. Honestly, I was surprised how much I enjoyed this one. While it is dumb and a lot of things don't make sense throughout this one, but you have a giant Godzilla and a giant gorilla fighting each other. What's gonna make sense with that? This one got a little weird with the whole white gorilla and Scar King riding a dinosaur. It was a little too crazy when you're already in a craziness of a world. They had a Hyundai or a Kia commercial or a Volkswagen commercial, and it was kind of bizarre. I was like, that's an ad. There's an ad in this movie. It was kind of bizarre, but it did $572 million at the box office, so did pretty damn well. People like seeing big giant monsters smashing each other. Pause. My bad on that. But they like seeing big giant monsters fight, and that's what you get with this movie. I had some fun. I had some chuckles. It's a solid 3 out of 5. Nothing crazy, but I enjoyed it. At number 6, Mufasa the Lion King. This, as of right now, has done $539 million, and that number is going to continue to go up. It'll probably stop right around $600 million. I don't understand the hate for this one. Everyone online is either kind of, some are really enjoying it, but a lot of people are really hating it. Like the Brother song, I liked it. I dug it. My brother saw this movie, told me to check it out, and I enjoyed it when I saw it. I love the Lion King universe. I love the live action universe, and getting to find out more between Scar and Mufasa and where their hatred came from. Did I agree with, like, that's why he wants to kill his brother? No, but they had a lot of foreshadowing in this for the later original Lion King movie, so it was a fun enough time, and the music, when they had the numbers, I enjoyed. Did they need them? Not necessarily, but overall, I think this movie kind of got hated on a bunch. Would have definitely made a surprising list of last year because I really dug it. Breaking us in the top 5, Moana 2. This has grossed over $900 million. Could very well join that billion-dollar club, and I think in a matter of a couple weeks, it just might. Moana 2 feels like it was going to be a show. It definitely has those vibes in there, but it's still so fun to go on an adventure again with Moana and with Maui, and that's what I enjoyed with this one. The music isn't as good as the first, and nothing about this movie is as good as the first, but it still is a fun adventure with all the characters that we know and love, and I think this one kind of got swept under the rug for a lot of people, saying like, ah, it was just another forgettable sequel. I disagree. I thought it was a fun time. I love seeing Maui back. They do reuse a couple jokes in there. Again, it felt kind of rushed because it was supposed to be a Disney Plus series, and you can feel that at times. But going on an adventure, seeing how far we'll go, we're going to get a third one, and I'm here for it. And I think if they have more time to prepare for that third one, rather than kind of rushing through this instead of doing the series, making the movie, I think if they have more time to prepare that third one, it's going to be great. At number 4, Deadpool and Wolverine, grossing over $1.3 billion, the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. And I'm a mixed bag with this one. I did really enjoy it. It made my top 10 of last year, but there's sometimes when I try to go back and rewatch this movie, I'm scratching my head at it because it is painfully unfunny at times. And that happens with comedies. It happened with Thor Ragnarok in the MCU. It's very funny the first 2 times, then those jokes kind of get old, and it never takes itself seriously whenever Ryan Reynolds is on screen. But on the contrary, when Wolverine's on screen, he has those deep monologues, those deep, meaningful moments. I mean, it just hits right in the feels. And the third act, while the villain is trash, is not very great, you have just everyone getting their ending, from Elektra to Blade to They Call Me the Gambit. It's hilarious. It's so fun. And it makes for just a crazy, cameo-infested MCU movie that is a ton of fun. Let's fucking go. At number 3, Inside Out 2, which grossed over $1.7 billion. I was in awe when I saw that number. $1.7 billion for an animated movie. Inside Out 2 deserves it all. Deserves all the love, all the success, because this movie has just won me over every time I go back and try to rewatch it at home at Disney+. Gets a little hard, hits you right in the feels. Anxiety's a little too relatable, kind of gives me anxiety watching it, but it's a movie that is for kids, but it's also for like the kids that watched the original one that grew up with it and might be in that same age that Riley's in now, where they could be coming into anxiety and changing of their life. And it just is so relatable. It's so beautiful. It's so funny. It's so fun. And it's one of my favorite movies of last year, one of my favorite movies of the decade. At number 2, Wicked, grossing over $655 million, and it's doing great as well on VOD at home. You can rent it. I bought it the first day it came out. I've watched it 2 times with my wife. I love Wicked. It's my second favorite movie of last year, and Wicked for Good, and the most anticipated movie for 2025. I think this is a great number. They marketed the hell out of this movie, so they needed to do a big number to make that money. But I think Wicked for Good will join that $1 billion club, because we almost hit $700 million, including the VOD at home. It was 700 over. We can definitely hit $1 billion for Wicked for Good, and I hope we do, because this movie was perfect from start to finish. The way they designed the actresses, the performances, the songs, the musical numbers, everything about this movie worked. It screamed Wicked. It screamed fantastic. It screamed phenomenal. I wish it was getting a little more love this award season. I loved it. My second favorite movie of last year. But at number 1, it's actually my first favorite movie of 2024. Dune Part 2, grossing over $714 million. And I think with Dune the Messiah, the third movie, that can join the $1 billion club. Dune Part 2 is one of those movies you have to experience on the big screen. I saw it twice in theaters, and I've watched it 3 times at home. It's one of the most immersive movies I feel you could ever watch, and it's one of the greatest sequels of all time. Paul is a character that you love to root for, but you're so scared he's going to go to that dark side that he's starting to go to, but he is the Lisan al-Gaib, and that ending and the way he has that speech and he fights Feyd-Rautha, everything about this movie screams epic. With Dune the Messiah, this could be arguably the greatest trilogy of all time. Dune Part 2, grossing over $714 million worldwide, is absolutely perfect, and it's my favorite movie of the highest grossing movies of 2024. Let me know your ranking of the 10 highest grossing movies of 2024 down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and thanks for watching and for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.